Everyone, welcome to another Random Talk Sunday. I apologize this video had to be delayed. Unfortunately, I was pretty busy over the weekend, but I should be caught up by the end of today. So, for this particular Random Talk Sunday, I thought it'd be interesting to briefly address my thoughts in regards to high heels, because I think high heels seem to be a particular part of I guess you could call it femininity or womanhood or whatnot, or women's garb, that is one that I find to be not only overrated in the same way that I think makeup is kind of overrated, but I think overall high heels, for me personally, um, have done, I think, a lot more damage than really have helped, if anything. Um, and I think that has to do with the fact that high heels are pretty painful to walk in. And it's not to say that they're as painful as some other things in life, but they are very uncomfortable and they are not the, I think, best form of shoe wear that's out there. And you can get a lot of blisters from high heels. It's supposedly very bad for your posture. I believe that to be true because, again, you're not really walking on solid ground. You're kind of just walking higher than you really are. And for the most part, all of these high heels really are just designed to somehow make you look attractive, or at least the taller they are, somehow the more attractive or whatnot. But to be honest, I don't think that I don't think they have shown any appeal to me whatsoever. Only because I don't think that they really look in particular that great on me, and also I think that they, for a lot of, at least the designs that they make for high heel shoes nowadays, I think look really ugly and bulky and just ridiculous. um, and I think certain high heels work for me if they are not that excessively high. Um, but there's just a point where these high heels get a little bit too much. And then I'll see these uh, women who wear these high heel shoes and they can barely walk. Like, they can hardly balance at all wearing those things. And they don't really look all too comfortable wearing them either. And the interesting thing too is high heels are really meant for like dressing up super fancy, like you wear this really fancy dress and then you wear high heels with them. And then even then, sometimes you'll trip over the dress with your high heel shoes, or if you want to go and dance, which is sometimes what women want to do when they're at a social gathering and there is music. Good luck dancing in them with high heels because it's a pain in the butt to do it. So I think they honestly are probably one of the most overrated things that you could wear. Only because, again, they are designed to somehow make you more attractive, but at the same time they are designed to be uber duper painful and really unhealthy for you. And apparently you could get back problems too, I heard, from wearing high heel shoes. And just a ton of things that are just not designed to be of any benefit. And what's really stupid is when they are so high and so thin that when you walk on them and then you misstep or something, you can literally, if you twist your foot the wrong way, like, you can really hurt yourself. So I think to act like these high heel shoes somehow make you some kind of goddess, or just make you like this very, just, or just give you some kind of big presence or whatnot. I mean, I just think it's a little ridiculous. I mean, I don't care for them. I wouldn't wear them to save my life. Again, obviously, like I said before, there's exceptions, but when you're talking like these stiletto high heels or these heels that have very little support on them and ones that are like uber bulky and just not my style whatsoever. I mean, they don't really benefit anything. I mean, I think they're an overrated fashion statement. I mean, and I think that a lot of uh, women, at least nowadays, I think to a certain extent have at least given up on high heel shoes. And I understand why, because they are annoying to wear. They're painful, they're unhealthy for you, and you know, I don't think I feel any more attractive if I'm wearing high heel shoes compared to flats. I just don't. I mean, men can probably say something different here on this topic, but I mean, to be honest, they're really awkward to walk in, and you have to like train your body somehow to adjust to these stupid shoes. It's ridiculous. I just can't. There's just part of me that just can't take the amount of crazy that comes with wearing shoes. Like, I don't understand why wearing flats is somehow any less uh, superior than these shoes. Like, especially when they constantly, want you to buy like the really excessive high heel shoes. Like, I always find those annoying. I'm glad that flats are a lot more accessible now. It used to be that they weren't as much, but then they suddenly became, I think, a little bit more popular. And that's only because I think, again, women were probably very turned off by these very big, bulky, high heel shoes. And I understand if it's the style for some women. If you want to wear them, that's totally fine. But I think for me, honestly, these shoes, I think, really don't serve that good of a purpose. And, they're just a waste, especially when they can break really easily. They're overly bulky. They crunch your feet in. Um, they make make it hard for you on your posture. You can't balance right, and you just look, and it's just really hard to walk in them. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. I just can't do it. It's just such a joke to see, like, and it's really hard to see, a girl struggling. Just like, oh yeah, just take them off. Just take them off. And there are points when literally women will take them off and just be like, I can't do this anymore. And I figure, yeah, that's probably why it's best to avoid high heels to a certain extent, only because um, they're just not comfortable. They're just not worth the fashion sense. But that's just my honest thoughts, though. I'd be more than happy to hear what anybody else has to say, and if you have an opinion on this. But to be honest, for me personally, just they're not that great of a fashion statement, I think, and they cause, I think, a lot more damage to your feet than really anything good. But again, that's just my thoughts. But until next time, everybody.